You know the history behind Bingham that you want to talk about?
I was going to say, not over, I know a bit, but do you know what I mean?
But I wanted to kind of segue. You can touch it better than I can follow up on it.
Yeah, I'll touch on it and then you can follow up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
I hope you don't mind me sitting here and practicing. Thank you. Yeah. So if I do them right and Sue thinks they're okay, get the job. You can get a copy. Oh, no, Brian. So Sue kind of teaches
Slice, yeah.
Tommy?
What was after leading edge?
I'll give you a line if you give me a sheet.
Sammy Reed.
Elliot said, do you mind spelling his name correctly? Please. One T. I heard it. How to grow a tree. Take a lolly, then I'll take it.
How are we, guys?
Good.
Good to go?
Did you guys get up to?
Yeah, we got up at 10.
Good.
Yeah. All set. I've got a folder with info up there. I'll bring it down for you guys in a
Yeah,
sec.
beauty. We've got bits and pieces as well.
You got bits and pieces?
Yeah.
Good. All right, awesome. No worries. How are you, mate? Good. Steve? Right. Thanks, mate. Nice to meet you. You got it all set up and everything ready to go? You got two commentators? Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'll touch on it. What's that? I'll touch on it and then if you want.
Yeah. I'll do like a bit of an intro.
Yeah,
and
100%
then
intro.
say who we are.
Yep.
And then obviously touch base on this game too.
Yep.
And then I'll be like, Lockie, do you want to tell us more about the history, moving into?
Yep. Cool. And I'll say a bit. Done. Cool as.
Do you mind pulling up the live stream on YouTube so we can watch when it goes on?
Yeah, yeah.
That makes sense.
I think
So it's on. When are we on? Will you count us down?
Yeah, well,
Cut.
still with the two shooters, right? Do we pick an MVP?
I'll turn two now.
So you do 3 to 1 and
Cool.
MVP, okay? One MVP.
We get team less, you reckon? What's up? You reckon we'll get team less?
It'll get what, sorry?
We'll get team less from everyone?
I think so, yeah. Steve said he's going to bring some info down. I've got info for your team. But I just think Steve will have. I can go and ask Brian if he can tell us who's starting and who's. Oh, cool.
So, no sponsors or anything for this one.
No sponsors.
Nah, not for this one. There's team sheet, like
Awesome.
team list,
Yeah.
and in the back there's like 5 or 6 pages of info on the Bingham Cup. Like, don't worry about the rules, but there's the info about like the cup and the medals and all that kind of stuff,
Yep.
as well as some past winners and whatever. So,
Awesome.
whatever you guys want to use,
No, dude, that's
all there for you.
Thank you, Steve. Cheers, Steve.
Where's the team less the main thing?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, you
Awesome.
oh, lovely.
I'll let you go through your. But I'll get used to. So I know Dean McPherson is the one staying in and then Troy. And this guy here with the pink and yellow shoes is Stuart Burton. Who's Daniel Paul? Yeah, okay, cool. You've got names on your top as well. Yeah, no, I think definitely one. I've got nothing else on. So, yeah, cool. That, no, keep it in mind. That's like that. A fair bit then. Cool.
Just do it. They need bigger boxes for some nights.
sorry, not with them.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the first live stream game of day one of the Australian Men's and Mixed Championship Nationals, hosted by South Australia Men's and Mixed Association, here at Netball SA Stadium on Ghana country. I'm Ian Brady, and I'm joined alongside Lockie, and we'll be commentating tonight's game between Southern Dragons and West Coast Thunder Open's men's division. This is game 2 for both sides, with both teams losing their first game to Victoria and New South Wales. So, Lockie, both sides will be looking forward to getting their first win tonight, with a lot on the line in this game as they are playing for the first game for the Bingham Cup. Do you want to tell us a bit more about the Bingham Cup?
Yeah, so from what I understand as well, and it's talked up quite a lot in our state from when the Cup actually originated. I think it was only about 4 years ago from what I believe, but with Mr. Bingham himself obviously having a lot to do with men's netball starting off in Western Australia, and I know that I could probably safely say that we wouldn't probably be in the position we are right here if it wasn't for him. So yeah, pretty thankful that he has done what he's done for this amazing sport. But I know that you know quite a lot more about Bruce than what I do.
Yeah, and so for those viewers at home that don't know, so Bruce Bingham was a big supporter of men's and mixed netball in both WA and South Australia for a number of years, and he dedicated a lot of time to the cause of building both mixed and men's in both states. So as Lockie touched on before, we renamed what was known as the Nullarbor Cup beforehand to the Bingham Cup in honour of him, as he did pass away a few years ago. And so the renaming was in honour of him. So it means a lot to these players, and I'm sure they're going to put on a hard game tonight because it means so much.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. And it's not just, some things are bigger than netball as well. And this game does mean a lot. And I know it certainly means a lot, obviously, from a South Australian perspective. And I'd assume it means quite a lot for your Western Australian boys too. But it is talked up quite a lot too. I think I remember 2018 or 19 we travelled over to Western Australia and you guys got on top of us as well. From what I heard, it was a really close game between for the men's and for the open mixed as well. But I think all the games that have actually happened so far since the Bingham Cup has started have been really good games. And like you said, like you touched on earlier, both teams starting off with a loss. South Australia started quite well against Victoria. They started at I think they were one goal up at quarter time. Weren't quite sure what happened. I talked to a lot of the boys and asked them if they could pinpoint anything that happened, but I just think they've got to be hungry to get on top and hopefully get the win here. So it should be a very interesting game. How are your Western Australian boys looking?
Yeah, look, their start was kind of nervous. I also spoke to a few of the boys, and a lot of them admitted that turnovers cost their game. I mean, they were in it from the beginning, but then it just had a domino effect, and so it will against a strong side as New South Wales. So I think they put their foot on the pedal and started out really strong and finished off the game. And I think that's something that head coach Wardy for the West Coast Thunder men's side would really want to address and get their intensity up from the get-go in this game and really deliver a game where they execute their skills to the capability that she knows that they can produce.
Exactly right. And the East Coast teams, so Queensland, New South Wales and Victoria, we know how strong they are, and they usually, I think, just looking through the history of the AMMNA championships, they've taken out between those three states, Queensland and New South Wales, have won the last number of championships as well. So yeah, quite some tough sides coming up in this division as well. There's certainly no easy games, no rest games at all. So if you want to take us through your lineup as well, we can get to know your team a bit better.
Shall do. So we'll go from GS to GK. So GS, we have Jerome Gilbard. In goal attack, we have Draven Lee Tarua. In wing attack, we have Jason Hurd. In centre, we have club captain for West Coast Thunder, Dylan McPherson. And in wing defence, we have Dale Mather. Sorry, wing defence, we have Stuart Burton. In goal defence, we have Dale Mather. And in goalkeep, we have Daniel Pools.
Lovely. And starting off for South Australia, in our goal shooter position, we have Matt Fowler, who's quite new to the sport. Goal attack, we have Clayton Wells. Our vice-captain is Tom Cross, and he's starting in wing attack. Centre is Dion Giaretto. Ben Slade in wing defence. Caleb Barnden in goal defence, and Samuel Foster starting in goalkeeper. As the first pass is underway, and already a fumble from South Australia. Not exactly the start that they weren't looking for, quite the opposite.
I think we're going to see a lot on the line here with especially South Australia hosting it.
Exactly.
So a few nerves from them to begin with.
Exactly. The pressure's certainly on. It's their game to lose, one would say. Jerome Gillibard, lovely one-hand pluck and a lovely finish as well. 1 from 1. Starting off quite strongly as well.
And a big smile for Jerome, who did not know that was coming, but luckily turned in enough time.
Just let that one go through. And it will be Sam Foster taking this one on the baseline. Transition very important here. Let's see how quickly the transition game will work, if they're going to slowly work it up the court.
Yeah, interesting for South Australia to come up against Draven Leiteroy in goal attack, because last Nationals 2019 he was a defender, circle defender.
Okay.
A new look for him in goal attack for the Dragons, so it'll take them a while to adjust to him as well in that area.
Has it been the last few years or just the last year of training that he's been moving to shooter, or is it?
He transitioned to shooter in 2020.
Okay.
So he's been at it for a while and is a really good goal attack.
There we go. And what that call is, that's inside the circle. I think it might have been contact. Another turnover for South Australia. That's 2 very early turnovers. And once again, not what they're looking for. Vice-captain Tom Cross, lovely save. No communication, but the ball will be taken back. And WA ball. Quite physical early. It's looking quite physical, almost looks a bit rushed. I think the team that takes this first quarter will obviously set themselves in a really good position, but the team that can actually steady the pace and control the pace is going to be the one that can get on top here. But it's looking quite rushed from both teams from what I can see. But WA seeming to be controlling it for the first 2 minutes.
As WA goes up 2-0. Yeah, I agree, Lockie. I think both teams won't be happy with a scrappy start.
No.
But as soon as the quarter rolls on, I think both teams will look to settle and play a bit of a possession netball.
Exactly. And look, trying to see yourself another turnover again. Forced pass by Clayton Wells, looking for Matty Fowler. Trying to see yourself into a game is a really hard thing, and you almost have to... The tone has to be set from the get-go, and it's Western Australia who have set the tone early and lining up for their third goal through Jerome Gillibard. All shooters 100% so far. 2 for 2 for Jerome.
Great second phase drive from Dylan McPherson.
Lovely second phase. Bit too physical from Caleb Barden. Just a bit just lost him a bit and tried to look for him when he lost him behind, and bit clumsy, took him out. And 2 from 2 he goes.
Great start here from West Coast Thunder, going for nothing. Clayton Wells will look to settle the Dragons with this goal. Unfortunately cannot make it, and it's a throw into West Coast Thunder.
Throw into West Coast Thunder. Ooh, a few South Australian players a bit unsure about that one, but it's the umpire's call. We have to play by it. Without them, we wouldn't have the game, so you have to respect it. A bit too late from Caleb Barnden. Lovely feed into the circle, looking for Jerome. Bit of a switch happened there. That was Sam Foster's player. Caleb got caught behind, just didn't have enough time to react and get in front of his man. Lovely roll. Oh, that's a falcon.
That is a falcon for Jerome Gillibard. He knows it. Laughs it off.
At least he can laugh it off.
And West Coast Thunder straight on defence, which is what you want to see over a turnover ball.
And exactly what you want to see as well is that your attackers, it's not just their job to attack the ball. They actually have to defend all the way up the court as well, as far up the court as they can, and they're already doing that.
Absolutely.
Within the first few minutes of this game. Tom Cross looking for Matt Fowler. Matt Fowler, very new to this game, only just found out recently that he was found 10 weeks ago. And he played his first game in netball, I think, 6 to 8 weeks ago.
So very fresh.
Very fresh. He's our head coach, Brian Lyons. Lovely feed into Matt Fowler. Good start from the Australians. The South Australians. But yeah, he was found in our head coach Brian Lyons' gym. And yeah, Brian went up to him and apparently asked, have you played netball or thought about it? And he said, no, never played netball. This is, again, what I've heard.
Yeah.
And was asked onto the team. So there you go, Matt Fowler. I think he may have a basketball background, from what I understand.
Welcome to the big leagues.
Welcome to the big leagues. Exactly.
Great goal there by Gilbert. Taking it 6-2 now to West Coast Thunder with Dragons centre pass. Great entry from Clayton Wells.
Lovely
and
entry.
A good pass off.
Lovely pass off to Matt Fowler. Lovely feed from Tom Cross. Finding Clay Wells in the transition. Really, really nice passing. And I think after the South Australians have finally found their first goal, they've sort of started to play their proper netball that I'm used to seeing as well. But Western Australia just looks so clean entering into the circle. Just so clean entering into the circle.
Great vision from Draven. Knew where Jerome was holding.
That whole time.
That off, yes.
Didn't even really need to look at him. Looked at him for a split second and found him. Unbelievable at Draven. Dion Giretto finds himself in the circle. Lovely feed into Clay Wells. Small little pop to the front. And finding their way back into this game after a very, very slow 2 to 3 minutes. South Australia find themselves 7-4 down.
I've been really impressed with Clayton Wells entering the circle. Although they've been down, his movement has created a lot of space for the attack end for Dragons.
Yeah, he's such an important player. He's been around playing netball for years and years, and yeah, such an important player, like catalyst to this team as well. Matt Fowler finishing again, bringing the margin down to 2. Break. It'll be inside the shoe. Where are we? No, we're in the centre third. Ooh.
Bit of a tumble.
Bit of a tumble. Looks like he's okay. That's Stuart Burton.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah,
shaking it off.
Looks okay. Yeah, maybe a bit disappointed he didn't get the call there. I would say that I agree that he should have got that call. Lovely pop from Jerome. Finding it hard to get back into back underneath the ring.
Yeah, great work by the Dragons defender stopping that entry from Draven in goal attack.
It was, but he's found himself just shy. What's that called? That may have been out of bounds, I believe. It looks like it's out of bounds, and that will be Western Australia ball. So Jerome finishing again, I think still shooting at 100% from what I have seen so far.
Dragons really struggling with second phase options,
yeah.
but a great ball from Wells.
Exactly right, yeah.
Fowler. But I think they're needing that second phase connection.
Yep.
Just play a short ball game.
Exactly.
Rather than leaving an opportunity for Thunder to come for a fly.
Yep, exactly right. The whole time here. We are having issues here at Priceline Stadium on court 1 with the air conditioner, so we've been moved last minute, Ian and I, onto court 2. So, and with a very good job from our tech team here, unbelievable job, I would say, to be found over here on court 2. We sit nice and cozy and able to enjoy a really good game of netball. Lovely take by Jerome.
Offload.
Looking back out, offload. Almost could have been on the post. I'm not sure. That might have been out of bounds. Bit sloppy from Ben Slade. And Jerome taking underneath. Another new one to the game, Ben Slade. Through friends of mine, I remember watching him play basketball through our high school years. And, yeah, found himself, I think, the last year playing netball and coming out to a Monday night men's competition. And I remember seeing him the first game, and I think we played against him, and it was... Yeah, you sort of see a new guy come out. Yeah, and you think, well, no, it was a bit raw. You can see that it was coming there, and his development over the last year has been unbelievable. Finding himself in this Opens team, yeah, like you could see that there was potential there to be a netballer from basketball, but he's done well to find himself into the Open men's team in the starting 7s for the first 2 games.
Yeah, that's great to see. We have a few new additions for the men's Open division as well. Elliot Clark, one of them who played in the 23 and under division at last Nationals, and he's a goal attack as well, and has performed through the pathway in the West Coast region and has done well and has performed well in our West Australian Netball League and has put himself in good stead to be selected and play here at Nationals for them. So, shout out to Elliot Clark.
Absolutely. So Elliot's played quite a bit through the junior years coming up.
Yes, so he started off very young as a 16-year-old in the Opens division.
Okay.
Went back out to a 23 and under when we had numbers.
Yep.
And then played with him, alongside him in the 23 and under division. Great long shooter as well, long-range shooter.
Yeah, wow.
And then just built his performance through our National League, West Australian Netball League, and through then got selected at trials for the Open division.
Wow. And it's, I think, one of the most raw things, and seeing all these younger guys playing as well. There could be some bit rough, little bit of a late contest there. But as I was saying, yeah, coming up through and watching the younger ranks as well, there's so much potential, and some of the kids are a bit newer to the game, and they're sort of just trying to understand it a bit more. And it's just a completely different pace when they're coming out to the national level here, playing in the under 17s and 20s. It steps up another gear because you're obviously competing for your state, but it's just so good to see that there are so many people that are coming up through those grades and continuing on and playing. It doesn't have to be in the Open division, but just continuing and playing the sport itself. It's just really good to see. Jerome Gilliffe, oh wow, he's so agile. How tall? Do you know how tall Jerome is? He looks about 6'5", 6". He's tall.
He is a big boy.
He's
and
a big boy.
I'm lucky enough to be his teammate, so I don't have to be against him unless it's training, and then I have to. Because not only is he tall, he's very agile and has great speed, so it's not as easy as someone would think to defend him. Yeah. But he's doing a great job out there.
I was just about to say as well, he's very agile. That was a contact call just outside. Oh no, footwork. It was footwork. As the Thunder looked to take it down the court.
West Coast Thunder looking to extend their lead from 11 to 9 with under 4 minutes to go. I think both teams have settled down, like you said. It'll be interesting to see what the next 3 minutes bring as they look to finish the first quarter.
Yep. I think, Western Australia started very well, but it still, from both sides, looked quite rushed. I think the first 2 to 3 minutes was not a good indicator of how this game's going to go. It has cleaned up, like you just said. Yeah, it has cleaned up. As we ticked along, and it's gotten a lot closer as well. 12 to 9 almost seems to be going almost goal for goal for the moment. Lovely feed in from Draven to Jerome as they push the lead out to 4. Dragons centre pass, but again the second phase has started to be looking like they're picking up a little bit more for South Australia.
Yeah, and I think Clayton Wells really needs to expose that both Cools and Mather are doing a double on Fowler and really needs to take the front cut and swoop on the entry. Yep,
absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree. Centre defence.
Exactly what Draven's doing there, leaves a one-on-one because the defender got sucked in there. So
and
look to see what Dragons do on their centre pass next.
And if they're maybe fixing that before the quarter ends, or maybe that's something that they address going into the quarter time break, is that they are sometimes the circle defenders are doubling up on Matty Fowler, and he's having quite a big contest to take it with just his own 2 hands. Oh, not a lot of communication as well from the South Australians from what I've seen early.
Fowler's presenting strong under there, but Clayton Wells is a quick shoot out to the wing attack to get close on the ring and scores that one 14-11.
Both of those boys in the defensive circle for Western Australia, extremely agile.
Draven gives it back out to Purser.
Lovely refeed.
Tries to give the shooter to shooter, gets the contact call.
And it will be Draven taking it now. Jerome didn't even look interested in rebounding there. Had a complete faith in Draven there. You know what? Rightly so. Extending the lead out to 4. It is 15 to 11. Quite physical from what I'm seeing early. Is that
Daniel
call is on Daniel Cools,
yes.
But quite a physical contest early. A few players looking to the umpire for a second opinion. Almost asking for a free. Not quite getting it. But this is the pace of the game that we expected, and I think, like we said, those first few minutes aren't really indicative of what was going to happen into this game.
I think both teams should now look to not focus on the calls and just play through the game.
Exactly,
You're not going to get the call, need to brush it off and play through.
You can't let the emotions take over. You just have to take everything in its stride, be in the moment, and just keep playing on with the game. Because I mean, I've been playing netball for some years now, and I've never once seen an umpire change their mind because you disagree with them. So no point in it.
Look.
Yeah, exactly right. What's that call here?
Clock wind down, so you have a bit of confusion what's happening.
Looks like
Pools is out of play, and Fowler to take the shot and secures the goal.
So we're looking at 15 to 13.
Oh.
15 to 14.
Great take there.
So South Australia have found themselves in a, I wouldn't say a cushy position, but a far better position that, I'll be honest, I didn't see it coming out this way at the beginning of the quarter, no.
It was a topsy-turvy first quarter, but I think, as expected, especially with so much to play on the line, I think both teams are looking to settle. What do you think Ryan Lyons will be wanting from his Dragon Chargers?
I think probably you hit the nail on the head with circle entries as well. Defensively, the boys are looking between, when I say the boys, sorry, I'm quite close with a lot of these boys. When I say Caleb Barnden and Sam Foster, I think they're looking okay. Maybe a few switches that are just being called a little bit too late. Jerome's found himself working off of a switch, so I think maybe they'll probably figure out for themselves. Between Brian Lyons, I think maybe he's saying don't always look for Matt Fowler, look for Clayton presenting at the front. Just a nice little pop out to the front, like you were saying as well. What do you think? What's going to be addressed into this? By Lorraine Ward. What's she going to be?
I think Wardy, as we call her, would want to have her charges really consolidate on all the work that the defenders are doing. We picked up a lot of ball in that quarter, but I think we turned it right back over in the attack end. So just really rewarding the defenders for the work they're doing by putting it through the hoop. And I think a lot of it was just silly errors, maybe some mishandling, so nothing to be too worried about. I think their timing was really well in attack, and their transition from defence into attack worked really well. So I don't think Wardy would be feeling panicked at the moment. I think she'd just want us to go back to the basics and just, play some clean netball out there.
And I don't think... I think as it settled down again, we've touched on it quite a few times, I don't think the first few minutes will be addressed by either of the coaches. I think that's sort of just out the window. It's nerves. Again, like we've said, the Bingham Cup does mean quite a lot to both of these states. A hell of a lot to both of these states. So I think it's just nerves that they were just trying to get the cobwebs out and maybe being a bit nervous that the first game may not have gone both teams' way that they would have liked with not getting the result they wanted, both losing. But yeah, maybe just the nerves taking over there. But very glad to see that we've got a very, very close game of netball on our hands as well. How do you think, how did your boys start in the first quarter of the first game against New South Wales?
I was with my team, so unfortunately I didn't get to see much of that game. But it's good to be here for this game.
Yeah.
One of, I think it's the first of the 3 of the mini-series. So
yes.
For those that don't know at home, so it's a 3-series game between Open Men's and the 23 and under. So they will also be vying for the Bingham Cup. We are fortunate enough to watch the first game here with the Open men's team. Before we get the quarter underway, I'm going to do a big shout out to a few of the Thunder members. They might get embarrassed for me doing it, but a big shout out to those that hit the 50 club, so 50 games for West Coast Thunder, and that is Stuart Burton, Jerome Gilbert, Jason Hearn, and Dylan McPherson. So huge congratulations to those boys for hitting such a milestone. And no, it doesn't show your age, it just shows your commitment to the sport, and they're such great leaders for us in the sport. So they're so inspiring, so a round of applause for them as well.
And it may not sound like a lot for people who haven't been involved with the AMMNA competition when you say 50 games, but for most competitions, sometimes they can go anywhere between, 9 to 10 games to 13 or 14, depending on if you make the finals for each of the national competitions. So it's years of commitment, thousands of hours of training. So that's a massive kudos to all of those boys for the 50 caps. That's really, really highly commendable.
As we see a fast start from West Coast Thunder of their centre pass. Unlucky for Draven Litero, who couldn't sink that goal. Dragons with the rebound, looking to transition, and a great pickup from Dylan McPherson.
Lovely.
Passes it off to Jerome Gilbard. Great connection between the two.
That was laser sharp passing and reflexes from right from that tram line there. Unbelievable by the Thunder.
And those two have played with each other for years, so that connection is superb. And you'd expect nothing less from those two. First miss for Clayton Miles, but Fowler rebounds and scores. Oh, no goal. Footwork call from Fowler.
Footwork call. I think he knew it too. He did nod his head and say, yep. He's well aware of that.
As West Coast Thunder transitions the ball all on the one side, I think they should look to centre it just in the middle. As Dylan McPherson gets it on circle edge, passes off to Draven Litero, who doesn't get this goal in. He'll be disappointed. And back on defence for West Coast Thunder.
But looking to turn it over here as, just a bit too late on that one was Draven. Almost thought he had that.
A great option from Dragons to reset the ball when there was no options in front. Great entry from Wells.
And there's what we're talking about as well. Lovely front cut by Clay Wells, and that's what he's... Well, that's where he plays his best netball from what I think as well. Draven looking straight to the top of the circle. Jerome, lovely pop to the front.
Yeah, Litero getting the centre pass pretty easy. Not contested on that, but great work on the defenders to keep them out.
Lovely feed. Really nice feed, and Jerome won't miss from there. He will not miss from there.
Now, I know we spoke about the delay of Nationals being 2 years.
Yes.
How have you found the Dragons' preparation into this year's Nationals?
Really good question. Going into this year's Nationals, there's been quite a few... just not having the eyes up, Tom Cross. Going into this year's, it was... I wasn't around so much as what I was the last 4 to 5 years, but they were just so hungry. I think once we found out that Nationals was going to be not cancelled, postponed for another year, it just... pretty much everyone was almost inconsolable to the point where you just didn't want to talk to them for a week or two about netball at all. They just didn't really want to talk about it, think about it, because it was just so dry, as I'm sure it would have been the same for all of you guys. But the preparation's been really good. New coach Brian Lyons coming in and having quite a lot of experience with the Adelaide Thunderbirds, him and Judy. Yeah, preparation's been really good. I've been sort of keeping in close touch individually with a few of the boys, and it's just been head down, bum up training quite a lot throughout the week. But yeah, managing injuries and trying to make sure that we're as good as gold, which I think there are a few 1 to 2 injuries that aren't playing tonight. Otherwise, preparation's been relatively good. What about Westcoast? What about the Thunder? How have they been?
Yeah, so for viewers that don't know, we haven't had any AMMNA games for over 1,000 days, as we reminded at the opening ceremony. So it's been a long time between drinks. For West Coast Thunder, our preparation had a bit of ways in the terms of similar, having 3 years. You have that commitment of who's staying, who cannot attend. So in terms of this team, there's been great stability. Most of these players attended the 2019 Nationals.
Wow.
With 2 new players in Matt Brown and Elliot Clark.
Okay.
But our preparation this year, specifically talking, a lot has gone into match play. So the West Coast Thunder team played a mini-series with the Victorian team.
Yep, okay.
A few months ago in the lead-up to this, and had 2 great wins against them.
I did hear about that, and I saw the scores too.
Yeah, so great hit-up for them, but also getting the support from West Coast Fever. Dan Ryan, the head coach there, big supporter of men's netball, is a former male player himself, who played for the Australian Sonics. So he's a big supporter of them, and also through his work at Stacey Marinkovic has allowed for West Coast Fever men's training partner, which are called Fever Men. So those are Jerome Gilbard, Dylan McPherson, Daniel Cools, and Draven Litero. So they really have that exposure to that elite level that they bring to the rest of the guys. And that preparation stems from match play as well. So I think what we can see is both teams are heavily involved in getting that exposure to that elite level to bring it to this national scale, which is the biggest platform for both states and all states to show what they're capable of.
And I think one of the last Australian Sonics touring teams per se I do remember, I think it was here in Adelaide as well. That would have been 2019, if I remember correctly. Against New Zealand, we played against. And I do remember seeing all three of those boys. So it was Dill McPherson, Jerome Gillibard, and the third one. Who was the third one? I'm awful with names. Who was the third player that played for the Sonics out of these?
Jason Hurd.
Jason Hurd, that's it. I do remember Dill McPherson, and yeah, well, I remember all three of them actually. I'm just really bad with names, but all three of them had quite a big impact as well. And it was such a strong Australian Sonics team. It's going to be really hard finding a spot in there for basically everyone. I think it's almost a case of, you know, it doesn't matter if you've played here before. There's a lot of new faces coming up through the grades who are a genuine shot at being chosen in the Sonics team.
As we see West Coast Thunder extending the lead 23-16 with 9 minutes left in the second quarter. And another miss from Littoral, but it will be called for obstruction.
And that will be Caleb Barnden standing out.
Also, a big shout out to everyone at home watching. Please leave a comment below and tell us who you are rooting for and specific players so we can give shout outs.
Absolutely. Yeah, actually, please do. Why did we not think of that earlier? Give us some names or people that your loved ones that you're watching, whether you're watching from Adelaide or you're watching from interstate as well. We're very, very happy to have you here. It's a long time in the making, as we've said, 3 years that we've been waiting for this national competition to take place, so extremely exciting. Oh, just...
And apologies for the previous mention with the Sonics. Draven actually played for New Zealand at the Trans-Tasman Cup.
Apologies.
The last time. So it was
He
just
did too.
Jason Head,
Yes.
Jerome Gilbard, and Dylan McPherson.
Yes. And it was, I think, Junior... Is it Levi or Levy? I always get it wrong. It is Junior Levi. He played for New Zealand. I think he played for New Zealand as well. Both the South Australian shooters popping into the same position there. And we have rolling subs, which is new to the AMMNA this year as well. Aaron Edmead coming on for Matt Fowler. I think that is our only change for South Australia. Are there any changes for WA?
So for WA, Mitch Purser has rolled off in the wing attack position, and Jason Head has rolled on in wing attack.
Okay. Well, hang on. Is Mitch Purser on? Mitch Purser's on.
Oh, sorry. Jason Head has gone into wing defence.
Okay,
My apologies. And goal defence is now Cools, and Dale Mather is now goalkeeper.
Okay.
So Stuart Buckets came off in wing defence.
And through the mid-court, I haven't been paying much attention to either team, but Western Australia looking to press, or are they usually a one-on-one sort of team, or is it sort of chop and change depending on the clientele, who they're versing, or...
So I know exactly what they do on the defensive
okay,
structure.
Oh, no, don't tell me. I
So
didn't mean it in a sneaky way.
All I can say is, look, they do a really good job on man-on, and I think that presents a lot of opportunities for them to go looking for ball.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So they're very proactive in setting structures up that allow them to be proactive in their defense rather than waiting for a ball to come to them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Say no more. That wasn't me trying to infiltrate from the inside. I was just
Unfortunately,
interested.
I know too much.
And I know a bit too much again. I was lucky enough to be training partner with a few of the boys who are in this team now last year, it was end of 2020, with the open squad, so being coached under Judy Greenwood and Brian Lyons, which was one of the most amazing experiences. The knowledge of netball is incredible, but yeah, I know far too much as well, so I'll say some things, but I won't go into too much detail. That call looks like it could be for... Okay. Contact call on for WA. Ben Slade finding a mid-court through Dion Giaretto. Second phases seem to be holding South Australia back a little bit. Contact on Dylan McPherson, centre for West Coast Thunder. Aaron Edmead looking for a lovely touch.
Great work from Mather to get his footwork around there, around the shooter.
I've really liked Dale Mather so far. Really athletic, and he's
Very
hold on the
man-on, physical,
very physical, but not doing it for the sake of it. Just doing it, just really strong, good netball so far. Really liked what he's done. Lovely one-hand take from Lito Rua. Jerome with another extremely strong hold, extremely hard to beat, and as I've said earlier, he will not miss those. No goal! Is that hell ball? Lovely intercept by Dylan McPherson.
Gets it right back for their team.
It's all happening here. It's a little bit chaotic at the moment. Hello, I like that.
Great spin there from Gerald Gilbert. Puts Thunder up 26-19 with just under 5 minutes to go of the quarter. Great change of direction from Draven. Pushes it up back to buckets in wing attack.
Lovely refeed.
And slots it
Draven
in.
shooting tonight. You wouldn't tell that he's new to this position coming from being a defender. Oh, wow, what happened there?
I am Draven's friend, but I hate to admit that he is the most versatile player. He is like a swan out there. Everything he does is so elegant. It's, yeah, very impressive to watch how he strides on the court.
Like a swan. Okay,
Look
I like
at him
that. Well, a bit physical inside the circle. Not sure who the call's going. Looking for like it's on Sam Foster. Looking for a towel. Jerome asked for a towel. One of my favourite.
Unlucky by Foster, but I could see what he was trying to do and keep Jerome higher.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it got tangled with the legs,
Yeah.
but great idea in recognising what was happening in that play.
Yeah, definitely a good idea. Execution, almost it was $1 million idea with a 10-cent finish. Didn't quite execute it. He won't like me saying that, but no, the idea was definitely there, just a little bit too late. And I'm not going to discourage it because Jerome Gilbert is a hell of an opponent to play on as well, and I would not like to have that task. Caleb Barnum with the task of covering both Litorua and Gilbert, but finishing off, is it Gilbert or Gilbert?
Gilbert.
Gilbert. Lead extending out to 7. Call his footwork. And I looked away for a second, but I think Tom Cross had that, either Tom Cross or DNG Redo.
Brian Lyons would not be happy with a coach killer like that with
Coach
3
killer.
minutes left.
There's been a few little coach killers, a few footwork calls against the Dragons. So he will not be happy with that. Very, just get the basics. Little bit late with his inside arm. Should have gone outside arm. Just a bit too late from Ben Slade.
Just going through the Facebook comments, we have Emily Waters rooting for Caleb. We have Narway Love saying, we love Elliot, get him on. We have Luke McPherson, who is brother of Dylan McPherson, saying he's the best male netballer I've ever seen. I'm not related, my last name is coincidence, thanks.
Oh, you've ruined it. You said that they're brothers.
Sorry, Luke. We have Joe Caldwell saying, very exciting to see a national men's comp. I'm watching from Brisbane, so shout out to the Brisbane viewers.
Shout out to our Brisbane viewers. We're very, very excited to be here, as we've said. Long time in the making. Lovely finish. Western Australia are taking this lead out by 8 at the moment. It is 20 to 29. We're looking at 2 minutes and some change left in this quarter. Bit scrappy here. Just looking to settle, reset back through the defenders.
And like we touched on, there is a few new combos out there, although they've all played with each other. Buckets now, Stuart Burt now in wing attack. It's different in the attack end, so the timing will be different. So just them getting used to that. And same with the Dragons attack end as well. They just have to consolidate and do the basics well, just to settle their new players who are coming on.
Yeah. And just try to let them adapt to the pace. You know, just try and ease them into it. Just get around them for each good pass, each good intercept, each goal that they're getting. Just ease them into it and get around them and let them know that they're doing the right thing as well. Because it can be very hard to, as we saw, almost all 14 players finding it very scrappy at the beginning of this quarter. Clayton Wells shortening the lead, 21-29, with Dragons taking the pass. Luke Diamond.
Great ball from Luke Diamond, who I believe it's also his birthday today, so big shout out to Luke Diamond.
It is. It is his birthday today. Happy birthday to him. The captain of this team, captain of the Open Men's team, shortening the lead again by 7. Well, 2-7, 22-29.
Oh, and a big shout out to New Zealand Men's and Mixed Netball Association saying, love seeing some Kiwi talent out there. All the best for a successful tournament from your friends across the ditch. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're unbelievable, we've got international viewers. There you go. So thank you for tuning in. Wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Adelaide, South Australia, where we're here right now at Priceline Stadium, or whether it's around Australia or, like we've just found out now, international viewers from New Zealand or wherever you are in the world, we're extremely happy to host you here. The first men's national tournament for far too long, we'll say, for over 1,000 days. 20 seconds to go in this quarter. Lovely touch. There's my man again. I think that's Mather. I think that was Dale. Yes, it was Dale Mather.
Well, great
10 seconds to go.
From Dylan and straight into lead top row with a great entry.
Lovely composure to find himself, to catch it, not running to the post, holding time. Oh.
I'm surprised he did do a hair flick. It's Draven's special move.
Is that? Well, there you go. The first half's done. 22 to 30. Western Australia holding it. They extended the lead, just sort of didn't look like there were any particular patch of the game that they extended it out. They just sort of grinded through and were able to extend it by 8. What's your pick for the first half? What have you picked up from Western Australia? What are they doing well? What are some things they could improve on? Anything you've noticed?
Yeah, I think both teams settled in that second quarter. Patchy in parts where they would go on a good run of some great netball, and then costly turnovers, just little mistakes. But great to see that Thunder could make a lead out, which now the scores have been corrected, 31 to 22, and extend that lead out. So I think for Thunder going into the back half of the game, they'll probably look to consolidate on their lead. Mm-hmm. Perhaps Wardy will look at bringing changes just to introduce some players into the fold. And I think for Dragons, they really got to find a way to stop that entry of the attack end of Thunder and really start playing short balls in the attack end.
Yep, exactly right. And I'm looking over at a few change-ups. We will confirm it. We will confirm it afterwards. But there are a few changes on the South Australian, and not too sure. It looks like there could be there are a few changes on the Western Australian, but we will confirm it. We will confirm it afterwards as well. I think we're going to go to a short break in a moment.
Yeah. How long we got? Oh, yeah, true. I should know. Yeah, and then you can take it as it comes. Yeah.
Yeah, but in minutes, there's a cap. Yeah, see, that's not long enough.
Do you want me to keep the screen?
Yeah. I have 70%.
17.
Yeah, I should be fine.
I think I'm alright. Yeah, I got 44. I mean,
But we do it in order anyway, don't we? Everything's in Africa.
coming back into the second half now, just trying to have a quick nosy at the changes that are happening. A few players with the same bib on, so we won't know until we go. I'll let you take it through the Western Australian team because they're now on the court. So who do we have starting in goal shooter for Western Australia now?
So we have Matt Brown in GS, Jerome Gilbert in goal attack. Wing attack, we have Jason Head, centre Dylan McPherson, wing defence Dale Mather, goal defence Daniel Cools, and in goalkeeper David Lee Tarua. So
versatile.
Yes, so versatile Draven is, but for viewers at home, welcome to day one and our first live stream of the 2022 Australian Men's and Mixed Nationals here, hosted at Netball SA Stadium by AMMNA, South Australian Men's and Mixed Association. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm Ian Brady and this Lock here, and we're just starting now the second half of this game, the Bingham Cup. It's the first game of 3 in this mini-series. As we see Matt Brown shooting his first goal for the game. Yes, he is a tall timber, he is.
It's almost going to be a case of, with those two tall timbers, it's the defenders are going to probably be looking to just not engage in the body at all. Just keep the feet moving, because that'll be hard to... Unbelievable. Litarua. Lovely take. Transition down the course looking quite strong at the moment. Mather, my man for the day. Dylan McPherson to Jerome. Is that his range? It looks for Matt Brown anyway.
Jerome is very sneaky with his look-away passes,
He
so
is.
any chance he can get to show that, he'll definitely be doing that.
And this lead, now we're only 1 minute into this quarter, it is extended out 22-33. And I will take you through the South Australian... lovely look-away pass from... Just too tall. Lovely contest from Sam Foster. Almost a head difference in size, but did well to compete with Matt Brown there. And we'll take you through this. No.
Big long bomb there from Foster. No options cutting in the middle corridor. And a big fly there setting for Coolsey as a contact gets called on Luke Diamond, wing attack. We take it in the centre third by Cools.
As he walks to the other side of Luke Diamond, the birthday boy.
Great draw from Gilbert to pull one defender out, leaving a one-on-one contest. And that big ball into Matty Brown will be on all day.
All day, and this combination already looking quite dangerous. Oh dear, that will be... I'm not sure if that was a contact or break. It was break from the looks of it. Dylan McPherson, how has he pulled that in?
Wow! I'm sure Dylan will be thanking Jerome. He owes him a coffee. Big pull from the big man.
You got gecko hands. How do you stick that? Jason Hurd looking to the top of the circle straight away, finding Matt Brown.
Oh, has a high bounce pass.
High bounce pass.
Oh, great hands from Foster. Oh, goes again.
Just a bit late from Sam Foster. Foster. Yeah, again, inside arm. Coach Killer, go the outside arm and you half a chance there.
Good insight to read the play. And now it's just working on the little things of outside hand, getting the footwork around.
Yeah. Absolutely right.
And I think Dragons will go down. And I think Brian Lyons would want his players just to consolidate on playing some great netball while they finish this game off.
Yeah.
It's not a lead that they can't bring back. It's something they have to chip away at.
Yeah.
I don't think the players need to panic. I think what they do need to do is just make sure there's 3 options to the ball, which I think they're struggling with at the moment.
Words right out of my mouth. I was just about to say there's very limited options, and we saw it away from the throwaway from Sam Foster. Just running out of options. Not entirely his fault for throwing it away. There's just... You know, again, and you've touched on it in the first quarter, is the second efforts that need to come from it. Oh, I thought that looked clean, my man Dale Mather. But it'll be standing out. And it looks like it will be inside. No, okay, not standing out, might have been offside. Aaron Edmeade seeing his first part of this game, and I will take you through the new lineup in this South Australian team. So Aaron Edmeade seeing his first part of this game, sinking his first. Clayton Wells in goal attack. Luke Diamond in wing attack. In centre, we have Dion Giaretto. Wing defence, first time in this game. Jeffrey Zammit, veteran of the game, and one of the nicest blokes you'll probably ever meet in your life. Sam Foster, well done to rebound that. Goal defence is Caleb Barnden, and goalkeeper is Sam Foster. Resetting through Foster again. Looking cross-court, probably not the option. No, not the option at all. Not with someone with hands like Jerome. Goodness me. And good luck defending that. Matt Brown found himself into this way very comfortably, extending the lead to, what are we, 23-37 to 14.
Great second phase from Diamond. Just no options after that.
Absolutely. Lovely looking board. Eyes always down the court, Clay Wells. Good vision, finding Aaron. And again, like you said, it's not going to be something that they're just going to... this Western Australian team are just far too good, and they won't have any sort of weak parts in this game. They just need to chip away. If the South Australians really want to dig into this lead, they're going to have to chip away at it. It's not going to come in 5-minute spurts of really good netball. They're just going to have to grit their teeth and dig in. Dylan McPherson finding himself on top of the circle. Bit physical inside the circle.
Great
Matt
ball
Brown
there from Jason Head into Matt Brown.
Yeah.
Those two will be joining forces as playing on the same team going into this year for their domestic league. So that combination really looking good on a national scale. So it will be exciting to see how it grows over this season together.
Yeah, and has that combination, has it been going on for a while with Matt Brown and Jason Hurd? Is it? Or
so
still...
they've trained a long time in terms of Thunder prep,
yeah,
but
okay.
not so much 1-all. So they know each other quite well. And Matt Brown has played netball for a really long time. I'm not going to mention.
Because he might not be overly happy with you.
But he's very experienced and one of the most gentle souls out there. So
a gentle giant. I love to see them.
As we see the Dragons work the ball to circle edge.
Oh, a bit too late. Just a bit too late from Daniel Cools, the vice-captain.
Great footwork from Draven. Both players scored obstruction and a good screen there from Clayton Wells. And a great goal there to finish.
Aaron Edmead finishing off with his trademark bandana. Finding himself into looking like he's a very cool character on the netball court. And I had the pleasure of playing with him in 2018 as well. I would say one of the best shooters for South Australia, and just a lot of fun to be around. Really lovely guy. Good netballer too. Few subs coming on. So Dylan McPherson is coming off for Stuart Burton. Stuart Burton into centre. We are changing balls. A little bit, I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe a little bit flat.
Oh, great hands from
Good
Stuart Burton.
Good second phase and effort from Luke Diamond. Unlucky to pull that in almost, Stuart Burton, and that pass has just been pushed over the top.
A big shout out to Stuart Burton, who got into a Thunder marriage, as we call it. So he's married to Emily Burton now, who plays for the Mixed Open. So they got married earlier this year. So big shout out to them and a huge congratulations.
Massive congratulations. Oh, that's gorgeous. I love to see Thunder marriage. That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Great work from Jerome Gilbert. Looking for player to draw, but just too good.
Yeah, yeah. And just being sucked into the body as well, Sam Foster finding himself that didn't have enough time to step off, whether it was just off a little 45 and have a crack at it from an... Wow, that's a good pass. Good vision. Lovely rebound, lovely follow. Well done by the two South Australian shooters in Clay Wells and Aaron Edmead. But, I did say it earlier, and I think we'll still have to be doing the same thing. The South Australian defenders in Caleb Barnden in goal defence, and especially Sam Foster in goalkeeper. Just keep your feet moving. If you get sucked into playing on the body, he's just going to run rings around you all day. Just like that. Calls outside the circle. Matt Brown popping to the front.
Yeah, interesting to see what the goal defence for the Dragons did there. He fully backed off Jerome Gilbert, but didn't really do much of a sag and floated, allowed Jerome to enter, and then Jerome just dished it off to Matt Brown. So I think if you're going to fully commit to a 2-on run, really pull back, or then really hedge up and force Jerome out.
Yeah, one or the other. No, you can't say in between.
And I think that will really expose their defence, and if they continue that.
Yep, absolutely. No, I agree. Sam Foster nearly out of touch there. From the ball in to Matt Brown. A little bit late in the contest from Jeff Zammit. Playing in wing defence, can play... not only can play in circle defence, he is very good at it as well. Jeffrey in goal defence or goalkeeper. few subs look like they might be happening. Matt Brown, lovely one-handed pull. And he's a left-hander. I've just realised that. Lovely. I like to see left-handers. Extending the lead out to what looks like it would be is at 27 to 45, 18 at the present time. Aaron Edmeade finding he's have to pop all the way up to the tram line. Lovely feed in.
I really like Luke Diamond's entry into the game. I think he's provided them a lot of stability on circle edge.
Yeah.
I mean, unlucky for them to finish it, but I think he's provided them with a lot of depth along the court.
Yep, definitely.
And he's been really speedy, and his change of direction is really good. Unfortunate that they can't finish it off, but great for them to have that in their game.
I can tell you firsthand that playing in him in, you know, with the open squad and on our Monday night in our men's competition, it is an absolute nightmare playing on Luke Diamond. He's just too quick for, I think, most people that he play against. Lovely finish from Aaron Edmeade. Well done to intercept there.
We see Zamet waiting in the rolling sub box for goal defence, so a change that the Dragons might make.
So Caleb Barnden off Jeff Zamet going into goal defence, as I've touched on earlier. He's an extremely capable and good goal defence. Something had to change there. I think maybe is what's going through Brian and Judy's minds, Brian Lyons and Judy Greenwood. Something had to change in the defensive circle. Not discredit to any of the boys, but it's just two very strong bodies in there. Physically outside, Dion Giaretto finding himself on the floor. And Litarua, as you've said, has just been so dynamic and so good at both ends of the floor tonight. He's been one of my... Well done, Mather. Unlucky, I would have thought, for Dale Mather. Thought he almost had control of that. And there is another rolling sub change. So Clayton Wells has come off and Tom Cross has gone.
Much better.
Lovely feed in.
We have the goal shooter. They're setting a screen on what is commonly known as a rigid ditch, which is what I was going to touch on before. Since there's no height in there, they either have to set screens or do a moving circle. So really lead and read off each other. I think it took them a while to settle, but good to see them figuring out screens that they can use.
Yeah. Lovely touch by Jeff Zamet. My man. But a really good point from what you've said, yeah. And Aaron Edmeade is so athletic and bendy. He looks like his legs are made of rubber. Well done to transition down the court for the Dragons. Looking to attack through the wing defence. And that one has completely baffled the Western Australian defence. Two very quick goals in succession, taking it 31 to 46. 15 difference. Still anyone's game with 3 minutes 20 to go. It's got to be a very tough fight. Very, very tough fight for South Australia to get themselves back into this. Wow, especially with shooting like that from Jerome. Unbelievable. But at the moment it is the Thunder on top at the moment and looking the stronger team. Aaron
Great
Edmeade
last bit of pop there. That's the ball movement Dragons need to keep up to allow the defenders' heads to be swigging and pull the defender out. So great work on the attack in there from the Dragons.
Stuart Burton will be taking this. Oh, that was... Oh, goodness. Looked like he just clipped him behind a bit of an ear massage, I think. He was very apologetic, but that one looked like it hurt.
I'm right here.
Jeff's up. Oh, just unlucky to pull that in. Really unlucky. But Matt Brown will make you pay every day of the week. And extending that lead out to 16, 32 to 48 at the moment. South Australia with, oh, wow.
And another win for Draven Litarua with just under 2 minutes remaining. Great transition from Thunder from defense to attack. Jerome dishes it out to Burton, who puts it into Matty Brown. Great shot from Matty Brown.
Lovely shot from Matt Brown. Did well to stay on side there. Dill McPherson. Oh, just a bit too... Yeah, it's just hesitated a little bit. Yeah, they know. Jason heard one of that just a little bit earlier. Good coverage from Ben Slade. A little bit late, Dion Giaretto. I think they've played advantage. Oh, a bit too high.
Yeah, misfeed there from Jerome.
bit too physical. Thought there would have been a call there. The call is out of bounds. Sam Foster will take it on the baseline with 1:15 to go in the third quarter. Oh, not sure what happened there, but just a fumble.
Great reset option there from Jerome. Looking to get depth down the court now and sends a huge ball. And for those that don't know, Dylan McPherson has now been injected into the wing defence position as we finish off the third quarter.
Yes, that's new for him. I think he's played centre and wing attack all of this game so far.
So Dylan McPherson is very talented, can play all three positions.
Wow, Lee Tonoa.
In the mid-court, and also plays goal attack in domestic league, so...
Okay.
Toot your horn, Dylan McPherson. But actually started off as a wing defence, so...
Okay, right. Yep. Goodness me. And Draven Lee Tonoa has been incredible this game, both ends of the court.
Don't blow his head up. He's average.
With 11 seconds to go, they'll be looking to put the foot on the throat here through Matt Brown.
And
West Coast
great
Thunder
steady there from Matty Brown.
Have got the lead out to 20 as we end this third quarter. 32-52. And it's really blown out in that quarter. It could have been won and lost there, and Western Australia just did a fantastic job foot in the throat. That combination was so dangerous, and it looked dangerous coming into the quarter, but Jerome in goal attack, like you said, he's not just a holding shooter. He's so agile. He's so tall, and he can just... Wow, man. He's unbelievable. That was a really good, impressive quarter from Matt Brown and Jerome Gilbert especially.
Yeah, 20-goal lead there by Thunder, so I think Dragons go back to the drawing board for this last quarter. I think they can be really proud of patches of skills out there and performances out there. I thought there were moments of brilliance in there that they should really look to play consistently.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, yeah, you can't get sucked up in the emotions of this game. It's almost out of our hands now. It's a 20-goal lead. You have to... It's such a long week. You can't let the emotions get over the top of you. You just have to play your netball, and you have to just hope that you can chip away at this lead and maybe just shorten it a little bit. But yeah, back to the drawing board. I would think just with bigger matchups that are going on through, I think that's a very big eye-opener with Matt Brown and Jerome Gilbert. Yeah, and just sort of seeing different combinations that can happen as well. Trying to see who else. I think Jeffrey Zammit finished off that quarter. I thought did quite well with playing off the body and quite big hops. I'm not sure how old Jeffrey is, and I'm not sure if you'd like me to say how old he is, but a seasoned veteran, I would say. But yeah, as we go into the last quarter, 20-goal lead, it's definitely Western Australia who've been the most impressive for majority of this game. Been patches for both teams, but Western Australia have just been able to just be so consistent throughout. The fourth quarter just about to take off, and from what I can see, quite a few different things happening for Western Australia. Could talk me through what's happening in...
Well, Jerome Gilbert in GK, goal defence, Daniel Cools, wing defence, Dylan McPherson, Stuart Burden in centre, wing attack Mitch Purser, goal attack Draven Lee Tarua, and in goal shoot, giving the fans what they want in the comment section, Elliot Clark in goal shooter. Now, the attack in with Lee Tarua and Clark worked really well in their game against Victoria. Great moving circles, so great to see what they can display on this game here. Foster Dilly getting a pick up there, so this quarter should be great to see how that circle moves, rotating. Very different from a holding shooter that Matt Brown presented. Something for the Dragons defenders to think about.
Okay. Putting up his first... Ooh, that was a pass. Sorry, I was just about to say it was his first shot for the night. I'm not sure if it was, but nonetheless, Draven Litorua, my man for the night, has finished it off.
Now, for those viewers at home, don't freak out. Jerome Gilbert does play defence in the domestic league. Not his preferred, but can play defence. So Wardy probably throwing in some options that might happen in worst case scenarios and just giving him the exposure there, if that be the case.
Yeah, and I do remember 2018 and 2019 watching Jerome play in goalkeeper position or defensive. He might not have just been. Lovely feed, lovely drive from Tom Cross.
Great finish.
A great shooter and a lovely boy. Hello, Tom, if you're watching this, and his family afterwards. Good drive onto the circle from Dion Giaretto. That's obstruction from Pools in goal defence.
Yeah, and look, this defensive end will need a lot of talking because it is a new combination. So the communication is definitely, as you can see, coming from Dylan McPherson and what that defensive end would look like and should look like. Great second phase.
Lovely second phase.
Lee Taro. Great hops on him. Great pop there from Elliott. Good confidence to turn to post and nails it.
Lovely second phase from Lee Torua. An attack is a wing attack in, who do we have here? Mitch Purser. Wing attack in Mitch Purser and Draven Lee Torua pushing... Oh no. We okay?
Flexible enough to get up. I'd say he's doing good and laughs it off.
Good. But the attackers in Mitch Purser and Draven Lee Torua pushing straight up the court as soon as the centre pass happened, just flooding, not really giving much option for Luke Diamond into Dion Giaretto in centre for options and looking forward, having to look straight back almost straight away.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, those two also played together in a domestic league and won the 1-all grand final, so champion winners for them. So that combo has been worked for a while, so great to see it also coming on a national scale as well.
Absolutely. And really dangerous on a national scale.
Great entry from Draven Litorua, working it, really trying to draw a defender out, and great shot.
Just took his time, no rush at all, just managed to gradually work himself into the circle. Western Australia ball as a lead.
Great centre pass there from Thunder, down in an ease. Great footwork from Draven.
Wow.
Now that is men's netball for everyone watching. Clinical.
Goodness me. I could watch that passage all day. I can't wait to watch the replays after. This is, wow.
Yeah, great display from both teams. I think this quarter has displayed much better netball than what it has in the other quarters. Don't let the margin fool you. There's been some great passages from both teams.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, it's very easy to get sucked into the scoreboard to think, you know, the team that are losing, they just haven't played well at all. Lovely read, Dion Giaretto. It's easy to think that the team losing haven't done well at all. There's been some great passages from the South Australian boys. And the same can be said, obviously. Lovely block. Lovely block from Daniel Cools, and that ball will be going, wow. Yeah, there was some great passages from both teams, as I was saying. Wow, that's a really good block. I think that's maybe our first block of the game.
And for those viewers at home watching, the West Coast Thundermen are, for the first game and for the first time ever at national level, are wearing their Indigenous uniform. So a big shout out to the Wongi and Yamaji artist Jareen Wyatt, who designed this beautiful Indigenous playing kit. Really describing her story of the connection of netball to country, and it's absolutely stunning. So West Coast Thunder really promoting inclusion and that pathway for Indigenous players to perform.
Absolutely, that is such a good. That was the first thing I noticed, was seeing the Western Australian team, all of you guys walking around and playing throughout this tournament. It's amazing, it's incredible, and like you said, supporting Indigenous players. We've got a, I think for the first time, if I believe, a first ever. A First Nations team representing South Australia. So all South Australian first persons mixed netball team. Watched them compete. They just went down, I think, by 10 to 15 against New South Wales earlier today, but so incredible to see their inclusion as well, and that little bit sloppy from Tom Cross. But yeah, to see their inclusion and they are such a big part of the sport.
And to wear that uniform is such pride as well. So great to see the boys wear it and put out such a great performance, really honouring, the designers and where they come from.
Lovely.
Great take there from Tarua.
Lovely take from Draven. Do you reckon he's going to talk to you after the game and let you know how well he's played? Or is he a humble character?
Draven and humble do not go together. But I'm sure he'll thank me for the lovely words I have said on this commentary.
He's not going to like that, is he?
Great centre pass again from Thunder. Clark coming out of the circle and Draven entering in. Great take.
Mitch Purce's first and second phases have been unbelievable. I do remember seeing him for the last 4 or 5 years, well, 4 or 5 years ago, but never knew his name. I just knew him as the guy that wore the headband.
Yeah, he's a bit of a go-go bunny.
Yeah, he is. He's just a little Energizer bunny.
And a huge feat for him. He played for the Australian team in the Indoor World Cup.
Yes.
In 2019. So, yeah, he's been high up in that elite level as well and has played in the Thunder environment for a while. So he's also a seasoned veteran, and it's good to see him put out a great performance as well.
Was that the same year Jerome might have represented Australia in Indoor? Was that the same year as Jerome? Okay, cool.
Yes.
Yeah. That's good to see, yeah, and them playing across. It's a good...
Great 1-2 connection. Unlucky. I think Draven could have put that pass a little more an extension for Purser to land safely, but nonetheless, Dragons bring it and transition it down the court.
Aaron Edmead having to present outside the circle.
A lot of
Lovely.
swings.
Yeah, that's
and
not
really
the right pass.
There, yeah,
not the right pass at all. Daniel Cole's reading it to perfection. And Elliot Clark finding himself into this game, I would say quite comfortably, I would say.
Yeah, it's great for me to just watch him perform on this, being a former 23s player.
Yes.
Him taking that extra level up and just performing on that elite level. So rooting for him and super proud of him.
That swing pass was on again there, but Tom Cross had a second thought about it, maybe because Daniel Coles is floating about.
Yeah, Dragons are all floating from one corridor to the next, so they're very crowded in each corridor. So I think they just need to draw a player out, stay out in that wider corridor, and then look to center it in.
Yeah. And we'll watch for Mitch Purser here in his second phase. It will be called back. Daniel Coles will take it pretty much right in the centre circle. Lovely touch from Sam Foster. Would that be
contact?
Oh, it will be contact. It will be contact. Apologies.
That could have been grabbed in, but nonetheless, it's a contact. Great screen from Draven to pop out.
And lovely finish again. He won't miss those. The lead is now out to 22-38. Will be the South Australian Dragons, and West Coast Thunder find themselves on 60. Little bit of contact, a little bit of physical contact. Not, the call wasn't contact, but a little bit of physical contact. I think well within reason, but Dion Giorotto just losing his feet. Bit unlucky.
Dragons just have to be careful that this doesn't blow out.
Yeah, exactly right.
In this last quarter, I think the goal should be to win this quarter, or at least draw level, and they just really have to consolidate and play short options here.
And that transition through the mid-court was just looked way too easy for West Coast Thunder. Oh, nearly got him, but it looked way too easy for the West Coast Thunder.
Look at that second phase.
There he is again, Mitch Purser.
That should not be allowed. Repetitively, I should say, too. So Foster needs to work around, see if he can come off the body of Elliot, see if he can have a look at Fly, even if he doesn't make it, just so he knows the timing of that. So the next time it happens, he can contest that. Yeah,
absolutely right. And like you said, Mitch Purser, the Energizer Bunny, he's just go. It doesn't even really look that tired. I think he's played, I would say, probably 80-90% of the game.
Yeah, and he's going to go for that second phase all day if you let him. So the defense needs to work hard on stopping that, so it changes his thought pattern on what he does on that court. And
he was finding himself on almost that will be South Australia, but almost looks like a little mismatch with Caleb Barndon. Quite tall, quite slim, and plays as quite a, not a in and out, like a little rover, like a little Energizer Bunny. So a bit of a mismatch, and he's maybe Mitch Purser just getting over the top of him here as well. Lovely read, Daniel Coles again through Mitch Purser. This transition has been dangerous all game, especially in this last quarter as well. Little pop to the pocket.
Great fake there from Stuart Burden and then given to Elliott.
A little between the legs. In, out. Draven Litua.
Great split.
His shooting's been very good tonight. He's missed, if any, maybe 1 or 2.
And just in a game to switch from defense and attack so effortlessly.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to see.
Having to reset in absolutely no rush, controlling this game.
Oh, great contest.
Great contest.
Great front
great
part.
contest again, but unlucky by Jeff Zammit. 2 really good contests. But Draven Litua just found himself in the top spot there. Elliott Clark.
With a classic squeal for the ball.
I was about to ask. I wasn't sure if it was him.
It's very much trademark Elliott Clark.
Is it a good thing, or is it like a good squeal or a call for the ball?
It's definitely a call for the ball.
Okay.
Very exaggerated, but it works. So we'll give Elliott Clark that.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Great
Lovely
work
defensive
on defense.
yeah,
Yes.
Lovely coverage by the Western Australians. A little pop to the back from Aaron Edmeade. Bit loopy. Shooting's been a bit off tonight from what I'm used to seeing from Aaron. Usually you're sort of like doesn't really miss a shot a game, and just getting inside his own head, looking really disappointed in himself.
Great split circle there from West Coast Thunder with Jerome being entering. It's a different strategy that they will probably use. So could you see them get a win from that?
Ooh, a bit fumbly again. Mitch Purser coming out on top.
Front ball.
Lovely front ball. Elliott Clark just shied.
And that is 66-39 with just under 6 minutes remaining of the last quarter. For those of you that just joined in, it's day 1 and the first live streaming game of day 1 here at the 2022 Australian Men's and Mixed National Championships. Live here from Netball SA Stadium on Kana Country.
Oh.
As we see a tip there.
Just looking really clogged through that mid-court. It's a cliche, but WA just doing so well to make that court look so small when South Australia trying to transition into offense. And wow, it's been so prominent in especially the last 3 to 4 quarters.
As you see a box there set up there from the Thunder players off the sideline thrown from Dragons.
So people who are watching at home as well, for the Open Men's team in this Bingham Cup, the Glenn Cook medal will be awarded to the best SA player. So leave in the comments if you can think of anyone that you think has been the best player for South Australia, and the Ron Winter medal will go to the best player for WA. So likewise for that as well, if you can think of anyone that you can put into the into your top players for either of those. So it's the Glenn Cook medal for best player for SA and the Ron Winter medal for the best player for WA.
And shout out to Ron Winter, who's also watching this game. Just a reminder that these will be over the course of the mini-series. So just in each game, put down in the comment section of who you think those players are deserving of those medals.
And there's quite a few from each team that could be a handful of players, a small handful of players that could be, just a bit late with that touch. Sam Foster, Elliott Clark, lovely finish. Extending the lead out to 39-69 in favour of West Coast Thunder. But yeah, leave it in the comments now. Like I said, there's probably a few people who I can think of who could fit into that category, who could be the medal winners.
And for those of you that want to continue watching live stream games, they will be on the South Australian Men's and Mixed Association Facebook page and on YouTube. So please give that a like and follow for more content on those pages.
Lovely over-the-top rebound from Draven Litua again. And it will be West Coast ball, Thunder ball again, I should say, with 3 minutes and some change to go. Not sure what happened there. Play to the whistle. Stuart Burton just a little bit too late on that one. Nice, tight little, cute shooter-to-shooter passing. Tom Cross to Aaron Edmeade. So the South Australian Dragons will move to 40-69. Just under 3 minutes to go in this game.
Interesting. We already have comments on the medals. So Sam Foster for SA and Dravenly Turo from WA, from Teresa Newton,
Okay.
a
Yeah.
former Thunder coach. So shout out to you, Teresa Newton, and thanks for commenting on your thoughts.
I'm just stumped. I'm stumped. I'm trying to have a look across the board and to see who I think's going to win the medal, and it's such a...
Draven's definitely put out a solid performance,
Yeah.
especially considering he's played both ends really well.
Yep.
But then there's been so many that have been steady for them, Stuart,
Yeah.
Dylan.
Where they
so
might not have seen as much of the ball, but they've just played such an important role in the Thunder's win here tonight as well. But yeah, I think if I was to pick anyone, Dravenly Tadua for me for
the Ron Winter medal.
Yeah, for the Ron Winter medal. Glenn Cook medal, tough one. There's been some people who've seen some court time. There's been a lot of changes. I'm probably looking at Tom Cross, or maybe Tom Cross is my pick. Elliot Clark looking to...
held
ball. Ooh, almost 50-50. I almost thought that could have been obstruction or contact. Nonetheless, it was held ball. Caleb Barnden looking to go through Dion Giaretto. Lovely touch. Daniel Coles, my man. He's up there for the medal for me as well. Dale Mather too has been really important down back.
Can Thunder extend it to a 30-goal lead? Oh, Dylan McPherson not impressed with himself giving that one away.
Oh, Jerome probably thought that one could have gone his way. Bit unlucky maybe, not too sure. Aaron Edmead found himself open in the circle there. Wasn't seen.
Great work from Diamond to get circle edge.
Nice pop, Aaron Edmead. Just unable to finish again. Hasn't been Aaron's night. He's had some good patches where he's played quite well, but his shooting's just been the tiniest bit off. And I know his lovely read, Jeff Zammit.
30 seconds remaining.
He'll be very harsh on himself for that.
You have someone who backs you up with Tom Cross for SA.
Tom
Krista
Cross.
James.
Krista, I like what you're doing. 13, 12, 11 and 10 seconds to go here in the Bingham Cup.
Oh, great hold
Lovely.
there from Elliot. Can he shoot it in before the time goes? Shot.
Lovely shot. Lovely one-hand take as well. And there it is, the winners of the Bingham Cup.
Game one.
Game one is Western Australia in a very convincing, very convincing win. That'll be the West Coast Thunder 71 beating the South Australian Dragons, the Southern Dragons 42.
Yeah, big shout out to everyone watching back at home. Thank you for joining in on the live stream. For more content, please look at the South Australian Men's and Mixed Netball Association page. Give that a like for more content and more live streams throughout the night. I'm Ian Brady, and this is Lockie. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing many more matches over the next week. And thank you so much.
Thanks very much, guys.